Hi, I'm Chris Peacock, and this is the Vampire Diaries, Season 2, Episode 9, Katerina. It suddenly occurs to me I didn't react at all to Katherine being Katerina. And I don't think we already knew that. Maybe we did. I feel like I already knew that, but I don't remember anyone ever saying that on the show. It might be one of those things I just heard. Because, I mean, when you're coming into a show late, you've heard things. Even if it's way in the back of your mind, and it's not, not anything that would have any context to you. I did know, going into this show, that Elena and Katherine were both played... I knew there was a character called Elena, I knew there was a character called Katherine, and I knew they were both played by the same person. I knew that coming into the series. I didn't know if they ever interacted or anything like that, although I assumed. But, and I don't remember the show saying that Catherine Pierce was Katerina Petrova? Is that right? But at the same time, that just feels like something I already knew. So I didn't react to it because it was old news. But as I was thinking about it after I ended the last episode less than a minute ago, I was like, did I already know that? I don't remember the show saying it before last episode. But I feel like I already knew it. If the show already did say it and I forgot, I apologize. If the show did not already say it, then I had to have just heard it in passing somewhere out in life. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to start the next episode.
Momento. Молете, майко. Позволи ми да я видя.
Жено, не дей. Какво правиш?
Дай ми поне веднъж да я поддържа. Само веднъж. Поне веднъж.
Позор. Позор за нашето семейство.
Татко, моля те!
Regardless of anything vampire Katherine has done, I will feel sorry for human Katerina in that scene.
Stephanie here?
That was horrible.
Said it was important.
I don't know what's true and what's not true. It's the problem
Okay.
with all this vampire crap. But Klaus, I know, is real.
Who is he?
He's one of the originals. He's a legend.
From the first generation of vampires.
Like Elijah?
No, Elijah was the Easter Bunny compared to Klaus.
Oh, well, that's great. Okay, so the first generation. So that whole okay. So yeah, the first generation. That was my original thing that I said. Original. The first thing I said before I got onto the line thing.
Klaus is known to be the oldest.
Okay, so
So
you're saying that
clearly
the
he
oldest
isn't.
vampire in the history of time is coming after me?
Yes.
No,
What
If he's the
they're
oldest we
saying
know
is-
about
I
in
mean,
season 2,
what
then
she's saying is
obviously
true.
Which
can't
it
be.
is.
And you're not just saying it so we don't kill you.
Here, I got it.
Thanks.
It's Jeremy. I was just about to say jerk
She's,
for laughing
she's
at
actually
her
running
dropping
late
your
today.
stuff, but it was Jeremy and he stopped me.
What are you doing later? You want to
Never
hang
mind.
out at the grill, shoot some pool?
Do you guys know which way's the office?
Yeah. Through the double doors, straight ahead, quick left, and then your first right. You must be new here.
Yeah, I am. It's kind of hard to hide it.
Every
My
new
name's Luca.
person I have to look
Jeremy,
and
this
see
is
what
Bonnie.
they have on for jewelry.
Hi, Bonnie.
You have a
It's
watch
nice to meet you,
on.
Bonnie.
Is it a magic watch?
Katherine? I'll be okay from here.
You can't go in. Well, geez, it hasn't been that long.
I also brought you this. You don't look so good. How long before your body shuts down? 10, 20 years? Must be painful to desiccate and mummify.
Seriously. You got trapped in here the exact same day that Elena got kidnapped. And this is like the next... Okay, so then there's like... She got rescued the next day after she got kidnapped, so that's a day. And then this is the day after that because... So it's been 2 days. It's been 2 days. You look like you're half starved to death after 2 days. Come on. Put yourself together.
My family, your true ancestors, they disowned me. My indiscretions were not tolerated at that time. I had a baby out of wedlock. Shame. It was kept secret. My baby was given away.
I didn't realize it was because it was out of wedlock. I thought it was because it was a girl. She seemed to react to a girl like she was worried. So that's why I was thinking the girl part mattered.
I was taken with him at first, until I found out what he was, and what he wanted from me. And then I ran like hell.
Or you need to see his face?
I can smell your blood.
That's Elijah, right?
It's pointless to run.
The hair's messing
Klaus
me
will
up.
find you wherever you are.
I'm surprised you got this far. Running at human speed.
Head east. I can't leave them astray much longer.
I can't run anymore.
Never mind. There's a cottage. You'll be safe there.
I might have done something.
Oh. You're gonna tell.
Told Tyler I'm a vampire. The doppelganger was created as a way to be able to undo the spell. Once a doppelganger reappeared, the curse can be broken. So you ran before he killed you. Something like that. Help!
So I'm assuming this is where Rose is? Nope, this is an old lady.
People do not escape from Klaus. Everyone who tries ends up back in his grasp, and anyone who helps them dies.
I don't get why Trevor helped.
It's nice to meet you. Maybe. What's going on, Rose?
Please just let me die.
If you die, then Trevor dies with you.
No, no!
He will sacrifice her.
Then so be it!
She's gonna kill herself with the blood in her.
I love her, Rose.
Oh, that's why you did it. Because you love her.
Klaus needed a human doppelganger. His vampire was no longer any use to him. But it didn't work. You didn't really escape. You've been running from Klaus ever since. I underestimated his spirit for vengeance.
Do you not see, Trevor? She used you to help her escape and me to turn her. Klaus will see our role in this.
And for that, I'm sorry.
As am I. For this.
You don't even care that you ruined their lives. I was looking out for myself.
It was
Elena.
Trevor's fault.
I will always look out for myself. If you're smart.
I'm not gonna blame her for saving her own life.
Are you mad?
Yes, Caroline. As a matter of fact, I am a little mad. I mean, you put yourself at risk if Damon finds out.
But you're not going to tell him, are you?
No, of course not. He would kill you.
Always looking out for me.
Yeah, well, you don't exactly make it very easy on me. You remind me of someone. My best friend, Lexi.
You have a friend?
I would like to introduce you to my dad.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Bennett.
Dr. Martin. Jonas Martin. It's nice to meet you, Bonnie Bennett.
I will see you at school.
Yeah.
You're sure Elijah's dead?
Beyond dead.
Trevor was a good man. Helped me with my dissertation.
I didn't see a ring on his
sexual
finger at
deviance in the
school.
Baroque period. I was going for my psych PhD.
Could have been
Mate's
the
been in
watch.
college.
You gonna use the quarters as like
Man, you are bad.
projectile?
I told you.
Like, fling them at the
I will
window
feel
and
free
break
to
it.
cheat if you need your dignity back.
Come on.
She's with Damon, isn't she?
Ew, no.
Then where is she?
How much of your little story is true? I have no reason to lie, Elena. I have no reason to do anything but sit here and read.
I believe with the whole thing.
Okay, so you were gonna just hand us all over to be killed. Better you die than I.
If a vampire breaks the sun curse, then the werewolves are stuck with the curse of the moon forever, and vice versa.
It's Klaus, don't you understand? You don't know this man. We're dead. We're all dead.
He just wants us to fit in here.
Alright, so
For
you're not a
once.
vampire, you're...
It's tough, Bonnie. Being different.
Is a guy still a witch?
Well, we prefer the term warlock.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have to worry. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
That's the problem. You won't. But you'll die trying. How is that any better? No, Mama. Whatever you do to escape Klaus, he will get his vengeance. On your friends, your family, on anyone that you've ever loved.
No, look at me. No, do not listen to her. You want to trade that stone for your freedom? Hmm? You manipulative, psychotic bitch.
When Klaus shows up to kill us all, and he will, I'll be in the tomb where no vampire will enter because they can't get out. I'll be the safest psychotic bitch in town.
You're right to fight it. The way you feel about it.
And why is that?
Because if we want to survive, we need to not care about anyone.
Sure, whatever.
Can't blame anyone else anymore. Because it's not because you came into town or because you and I fell in love. That's not why everyone that I love is in danger. It's because of me. Everything is because of me. And
Well, that's not really because of you.
There's no switch you can turn off. Sure, when you're a newbie, but after a couple hundred years, you just have to pretend.
You can destroy the curse, but you need the moonstone.
How? What do you mean? I don't follow.
Well, can your friend get the moonstone? You need it.
Elijah's
Yes,
there
you
threatening
can get
him
it.
into doing
What
this
next?
phone call. This
We
is
need a
all trick.
witch.
Very nicely done.
Yep.
I want you to take this and drive it through your heart.
That would kill me forever.
I know. But it's necessary. It had to be done.
Oh, it's the father. Yay. Okay. Well, I really did enjoy most of this episode. I'm not a huge fan of the original. Okay. This one particular original that we've met, I don't know anything about any of the others. I'm not a huge fan of Elijah. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping he does die on the Vampire Diaries and isn't in the originals. If he is, I'm not going to complain, but whatever. But I'm hoping we can get rid of him. I don't really care for him. Right now, it seems to be a case where he's... And this is separate from me not liking him. Even if I liked his character better, I wouldn't like this aspect that I'm about to mention. He's too much more powerful. I'm not a fan of the villain being too much more powerful than the heroes. I like the villain to be more powerful, at least for a while. But not too much. If they're too much more powerful, I lose interest. Because they just... I don't know. It's kind of, if the hero's too powerful, there's no stakes. If the villain's too powerful, you know the only way the heroes are going to win is some kind of Deus Ex Machina, and I don't know if that is going to happen. Maybe they'll get more powerful somehow, some kind of witchcraft or magic or something, or possibly maybe I don't know, some kind of huge group effort. But I don't know. There's not a huge group here. We have 3. I'm only counting our 3 vampires: Rose, Damon, and Stefan. I'm not counting. Okay, we have 4. I'll count Caroline. I'm willing to count Caroline. So that's 4. We have a werewolf. I'll put Tyler in this team. I'm not going to put Bonnie on the team, even though I should. And again, this is a made-up team, not even a real team. I will put Bonnie on the team. We need every member we can get. I'll put Bonnie on the team. It just doesn't seem... And this isn't an action show, so I'm not really expecting a big climactic fight either. But... I don't know. He's just too much more powerful. I had the same problem with a certain character on True Blood. But that character was funny. So he was at least interesting. I don't want to say who I'm talking about on True Blood. It should be obvious. If you've seen True Blood, that should have been obvious who I'm talking about. Anyway. Yeah, alright. Now to what I liked about the episode. Just about everything else. Katherine's backstory, I really enjoyed. I liked that. And it's nice to finally get it. And it's actually, this is a good time to get it, too. Too much earlier probably would have been too soon, because we didn't really get to hate her yet. And, well, no, I hated her like the first episode she was in. Never mind. But then I liked her when she cut off John's hand and I thought he was dead. Then I liked her just a little bit less when she didn't actually kill him. Anyway. Katherine's one of those characters that I enjoy her character immensely, but I don't like her. So it was nice to get her backstory. And I legit felt sorry for her, the entire backstory. Even if she used Trevor and Rose, it was kill or be killed. I mean, she didn't kill them, but you know what I mean. She didn't really have a choice. I don't think she did anything wrong in her backstory. Now, I definitely know she's done things that are wrong. I'm not saying she's now a hero. But just in the backstory, I don't think she did anything wrong. Not one thing. Oh well. And now I'm wondering, did she manipulate things so that she ended up in the tomb? No, because she just could have... She knew where the tomb was. She could have just walked into the tomb. She didn't need anyone to put her there. Unless Bonnie redid some magic on it, and she needed Bonnie to redo the magic. I don't know, because we didn't see Bonnie redo anything, but we saw the vampires come out in season 1, meaning that the grandmother's spell failed, because that's why the other vampires were able to come out. But it's back up, so I just assumed Bonnie put it back up. But we didn't see Bonnie put it back up, so... Catherine's wrong, though. No vampire would dare come in and get her. But all they gotta do is... It doesn't... Couldn't it be broken again? Like, the spell? I'm thinking, like, Klaus and whoever comes with him, all the originals. We'll just say all of them. See, it's hard for me to think of them as the villains because there's no way they have their own show and they're just all the villains. Like, even if they're kind of jerks. Like, I mean, Damon's kind of a jerk, but he's definitely not a villain. I mean, he was for like the first 4 episodes, but whatever. Even if they're all kind of jerks, they're not going to have their own show and they're all completely irredeemable. So it's hard for me to think of them as the bad guys, even though I can definitely see them as the current bad guys. Anyway, my main point, wouldn't they just be able to break that? I mean, not them themselves, but maybe them themselves. They have extra powers, but regardless, let's ignore that. Get some powerful witches, even if it has to be a Bennett witch. There's other Bennett witches out there. If Bonnie won't do it, they could make that other one do it. I don't know. It just seems like Catherine's not really all that safe in the tomb. And if the tomb is the safe place to be, we need to put Elena in the tomb. And she could come out. Elena could come out of the tomb. I don't know. I didn't trust the new kid the second he came. That's why I was like, alright, is he a vampire? Where's his ring? And I still don't know. Because now that I know that the originals have extra powers, I was thinking maybe he's not a warlock. Maybe he is a vampire. And his extra power is moving salt. No, his extra power, like telekinesis. But I don't know. Part of me wishes I knew who played Klaus, so I could be like, is one of those two Klaus? But another part of me is like, I don't really want it to be spoiled. And I don't. But I know there's a character called Klaus, so I know we're going to meet him eventually. And I think... I'm trying to remember everything I know about the originals, and it's not much, really. Louisiana did tip me off, because I do know that at least part of the originals is set in Louisiana. Which is really funny, because it's where True Blood is set. I don't know what it is about Louisiana and vampires. It's not really where I would... I know New Orleans has Mardi Gras, which is very hedonistic, and vampires are pretty hedonistic, but still, you could be hedonistic anywhere. Like, at least Mystic Falls, I mean, West Virginia isn't anything that I would associate with vampires either, but at least it's called Mystic Falls, which is just a good name, I guess. But yeah, I don't. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. The originals hasn't even started, so let's forget Louisiana. I just knew that the originals took place in Louisiana. At least parts of it. Again, I don't know if the whole series does. I don't know if that's where Klaus is right now. I mean, clearly in the flashback, he was in Europe somewhere. Not Bulgaria. I just know it wasn't Bulgaria. But he was in Europe somewhere. But I don't know where he would be now. Whether it's Louisiana or maybe he's still in Europe and he'll be coming to... Obviously, he's going to be in Mystic Falls by the end of this season. Either that or we're just going to be dealing with Elijah. See, even though I hardly know anything, what I do know makes me kind of like wonder like where things are going to go to lead us into the originals. And I'm still so early. Like, the originals is still a ways away. So anything that's going on right now is probably not even still relevant by the time that starts. But what I absolutely do know is the originals are clearly walking around during their own show, and they're not coming after Damon and Stefan and anyone else on the Vampire Diaries. Why the shows are going on at the same time. So clearly this gets resolved with both parties still being able to walk around freely without having to worry about the other party, at least to a certain extent, which would tell me that this must get resolved peacefully, or at least amicably. Maybe Klaus isn't a character on the originals. Maybe Klaus gets killed. But if Elijah can't be killed, I don't know. But I do think, and I said this, I think I said it last episode, but it might have been the way beginning of this episode. It was the way beginning of this episode. I'm willing to bet we're going to meet an older vampire than Klaus. It might not be on this show, it might be on the originals, but I think we're going to meet an older vampire than Klaus. Because there's always an older vampire than the oldest vampire anyone knows about. In every vampire thing I've ever seen, where they make a big deal about this is the oldest one, there's an older one. I mean, eventually there's not. Eventually that, like, this is the oldest one we've ever met. Oh, here's an older one. They only do that so much. I mean, they can't keep doing it, but... And how long is a generation? The first generation of vampires. Like, let's say Klaus is the original, not an original, but the original. We'll just say it's Klaus, because I don't have any evidence to the contrary. So Klaus is the original vampire, and then the first generation of vampire is the originals. So we have Klaus, and then is it every vampire that Klaus turned personally? But then anyone that they turned is second generation? Would that be how it is? And then anyone that those people turned are third generation, and then we eventually get down to... But then that would still make every vampire descended from Klaus. Every single one. Assuming Klaus is the original and not just an original. And that just doesn't fit to me. I do have another question. I might have asked this already. I've been tempted to ask it several times, so I don't know if I actually have asked it or if I've just wanted to, but I'm definitely asking it now. And this is just I just want to know... I want to know how accurate the series is to the books at this point. I don't want to know specifics, just, like, is the show mostly accurate to, like, I don't even know how many Vampire Diaries books there are, but I'm assuming more than one. And how accurate are they? I don't mean the whole series, just as of what I've seen, how accurate is it to the story going on in the books at this point in the books, if the books are even still going on at this point. Like, if there's only one book, how accurate was season 1? And then was at the end of the book. But if there is only one book, then feel free to tell me how accurate season 1 is with details. But if there's more to it, I just want to know how accurate. I don't want to know, like, when something isn't accurate, I don't want to know what it is. I just want to just like a number, like 85% accurate, something like that. Because I really am curious, but I also don't want any specifics, because obviously that would be... Well, actually, I'm not going to read it. So I guess specifics would be fine. I'm not going to read this series, so... Any interesting changes that I've already seen, I actually don't mind you telling me. But, again, that's assuming I've already seen it, and that's assuming that they exist. And again, I don't know, maybe this was just one book. How'd that, like, the water on my, probably spit, I'm probably spitting. Alright, I'm gonna stop, because I don't even know how long I've been going. Most recording's over an hour, and the episode was 41 minutes, so I've talked for 20 minutes. I mean, I know I talked at the beginning and I paused a few times, but we'll just say 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to stop now. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in episode 10.